What is going on, everyone? It is Luca here, back with another video. In this one, I'm going to be talking Raptors. I'm going to share my thoughts on the team and what has impressed me and how I just feel about them moving forward. But real quick, if you guys want my day-to-day Raptors content, consistent Raptors content, similar to what I used to do on this channel, you can find that at the Raptors Nation YouTube channel. But I'm still going to occasionally drop some Raptors takes on this channel, as of course I've made this a more broad NBA channel. And just to fill you guys in, some personal news. I've been working full-time with Raptors Nation for a year and a half now. I've been working as their lead reporter. So yeah, that's been a lot of fun, great opportunity for me in my career. Been managing their site at raptorsnation.com and fully taking over the YouTube channel. So subscribe to that channel, but of course keep it locked and loaded on this channel because I'm still gonna have my occasional Raptors takes, just storyline based, whereas the other channel will be more day-to-day stuff. So let's talk about this Raptors season, right? It started off a bunch of injuries. The team is still trying to get fully healthy, and they were just racking up a ton of L's. And the conversation was, okay, the Raptors, they've given themselves a leg up. This is going to be an easy decision to tank because there's such a talented 2025 NBA draft upcoming. And if you add another top 5 pick to this already talented team, this team's going to be cooking. But we've seen over the last week now, Barnes is back, which is great news. He looked good returning from that orbital fracture. He looked good rocking the goggles. RJ Barrett's been killing it. We've seen improved play from Grady Dick, who's taking that sophomore leap. Jakob Poeltl, got to give him a ton of credit. And all of a sudden, the Raptors have looked very competitive. They do not look like a team that is going to bottom out over their last 3. I mean, they could have easily won that Celtics game. They beat the Pacers, and they beat the Timberwolves, and that was an impressive win. So right now, you could be looking at a 3-game winning streak from this Raptors team. And just, you know, speaking about Scottie Barnes, it is nice to see him back. He started the season strong, unfortunately got injured, but he picked up from where he last left off. We saw him handle the point guard duties with Quickly still sidelined. He had 17 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists on 5-11 shooting in that game against the Timberwolves. And he had 9 points, 5 of 6 at the line in the fourth. So you love to see that. You want to see Scottie be aggressive in the fourth quarter when the game's on the line. And then you look at RJ. I mean, he's just been on an unbelievable tear. Like, he's playing like an all-star right now, guys. It really is great to see. And RJ, you could tell he wants to be here. Like, over his last 3, 31 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 39 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 25 points, 10 rebounds, 15 assists. And then, of course, you got Grady Dick. He's had his stretches where he's looked phenomenal, showing you that 3-level score potential. Jakob Poeltl has increased his production as well. And, you know, Darko said that he encouraged Yak to do more this season. So we're seeing Yak take his game to a whole new level. And I know this is outdated because I believe this was posted before the Raptors' last game against the Timberwolves, but I thought this just speaks volumes to the development of this Raptors team. This is per Kurthika. Grady Dick, like, you look at the increase. Abaji has been solid. Poeltl, Boucher had a big game in his last one. Davion Mitchell, RJ Barrett. And then this can even stem to last season with Scottie Barnes, because Scottie took the leap last year, and this is all under Darko Rajakovic. And I think Darko's not getting enough credit. I know we criticize him a lot, myself included, because of his questionable play calls. He's definitely not perfect by any means as a coach, but what I really like about Darko is the fact that we are seeing player development, which is exactly what he was asked to do with this team when he was brought in. And you can tell, like, the continuity and the team chemistry, it's getting stronger and stronger each and every game, especially when this team returns to full health. Guys are playing with each other. They like playing with each other. I mean, Scottie said too after that game against the Timberwolves, RJ compliments me well. So you could see there's bonds starting to happen. RJ, Grady. RJ's been phenomenal in that pick and roll game with Jakob Poeltl. And then you're going to have Emmanuel Quickly enter the mix, and he played really well to end last season, obviously upping his averages from the Knicks. So this team, they are growing, they are getting better, the young guys are blossoming, and this youth movement is fully intact. And it's great to see, because this is year 1 of the rebuild, as Darko called it. And yeah, this team has done a lot of losing, but you're seeing glimpses of the future. You're seeing glimpses of how good this team can actually be if they're fully healthy. But like, we don't even have a large sample size of Grady Dick, Emmanuel Quickly, RJ Barrett, and Scottie Barnes. So can you imagine how good they're going to look once those guys are able to play as a quad and we don't have guys in and out of the lineup? But now that leads to the other thing that I want to talk about in this video. So it was a more easy decision when the Raptors had gotten out to such a terrible start to tank. I'm not gonna lie, that's been my stance. But you see how this team is starting to trend upwards. Barnes is back in the mix. The way RJ's been talking, saying how, like, we're looking to win. You see their compete level, because even when they were racking up a ton of those losses, the Raptors were in most of those games. Like, the Raptors, they haven't been blown out or outplayed too many times this season. So they've definitely been putting forth the effort and energy, even being shorthanded. But now that you got guys that re-entering the mix, you know, Bruce Brown, update today by Michael Grange of Sportsnet, he's gonna re-enter the mix with this team at some point during the road trip. That's the expectation. He's gonna bolster that bench. Emmanuel Quickley, I don't think he's that far off. There's still no timetable for him. But then you get Kelly back to another veteran. Like, this team right now, I think, is going to be too good to tank. And we're starting to see it with their recent performances. And when you look at the other teams that just flat out suck, I posted this on X, it's like, you're not out tanking the Wizards, who right now are the worst team in the NBA. They're 2-12. Like, they're just a terrible, terrible team. The Sixers will probably figure it out, might not even, but I don't think you got to worry about them necessarily. But you're not going to out-tank the Pelicans, who have been decimated with injuries, and then the Jazz. They got their sights clearly set on Cooper Flag. So I get the argument on both sides, because this team, at its peak, you can still say they're a middling team. They're not quite there yet in terms of doing something big. So then if you add a top 5 pick or even a Cooper Flag, like, this team's going to be laughing. Like, they're really going to cook up something special. But then on the other side of it, it's like, you don't want to stunt player development. You don't want to stunt these guys by ethically tanking. You want them to figure it out, gain that valuable experience. And really how things are trending now, I mean, this looks to be a play-in team if they continue to win games, because the East, I mean, it stinks. Like, that's the thing too. Like, you look at number 6 right now, number 5 in the East, the Heat are 6-7. So, like, the Raptors aren't even too far off from a top 6 spot despite their horrible start. So that's what's going to be interesting about the approach this team is going to take. And they're going to have to make a big decision. And, you know, we might see what that decision is with how this team proceeds moving forward. And so much of it's going to hinge on the decisions made leading up to the trade deadline. Because if you want to be truly bad and tank, you're going to trade Jakob Poeltl, who makes this team substantially better when he's out there on the floor. You're going to trade a Boucher or try to trade him, a Bruce Brown. So that's the thing. I mean, this team, they're fun to watch. The energy's been great. I've been having a blast watching the Raptors this season. I don't know about all of you, despite their 4-12 record. Like, these games have been entertaining. And yeah, it would be really, really nice to get a top 5 pick and to bottom out and give yourself the best chance to get Cooper Flag, who looks like an absolute stud. But at the same time, like, it's hard to kind of limit a hungry group. And, like, what are you going to do? Like, purposely start benching guys or say, hey, let's take it easy in the fourth quarter? Like, these guys, they're playing like they want to win. So it's a tricky situation. It's an interesting one. I'd love to hear what you all have to say about this, about team tank versus team no tank. But basically, the way things started, it was easy to justify the tank. Now that the Raptors are starting to win, it's like, I don't think this team can tank even if they wanted to. Theoretically, here's the other thing too. You can still go for it in a sense, win a bunch of games. Let's just say this team enters the play-in and you got luck on your side. You obviously don't want to bank on that, but look at the Hawks. I mean, they're a play-in team and they got the number 1 pick. So it's not, I guess, the end of the world if this team does win games, doesn't give themselves like a best chance at getting a top pick, and then hopefully the lottery gods are on the Raptors side. But again, with those bottom 3 teams I just mentioned, some of the other teams that can enter the mix as the season goes on, it's hard to see this team staying down for too long. When everybody's healthy, there's an established rotation, it's hard to envision this team getting the top pick. And that's pretty much the reality right now. So guys, let me know your thoughts. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. This is Lucas signing off. I will catch you all again in the next one.